When you look at a calendar and see that February has 28 or sometimes 29 days, you wonder why this month is the shortest? The calendar is a method of timekeeping created by humans. The reference for creating a calendar are the movements of celestial bodies, such as the moon and the sun. But the history of our calendar is a fascinating puzzle of astronomy, mathematics, and politics. Our dive into history begins with the Julian calendar, named after Julius Caesar, who in 45 BC introduced a system that attempted to emulate the time it takes for the Earth to orbit the Sun. In 46 BC, Julius Caesar asked the astronomer Sosigenes of Alexandria to guide him in reforming the calendar that was in force in Rome. Legend says that the Roman calendar had been created by the city's founder, Romulus. This first calendar had 304 days, divided into 10 months, with 6 of 30 days and 4 of 31 days. However, this count did not match the time it takes for the Earth to make a full orbit around the Sun. In the earliest Roman calendars, the year began in March, and February did not even exist. It was only in the 8th century BC that King Numa Pompilius, the successor of Romulus, sought to solve this problem by including 2 more months in the calendar, one with 29 days and another with 28 days, while 1 day would be removed from each of the other months. As a result, the year in this calendar came to have 355 days. To bridge the gap between the calendar count and the Earth's movement, another month was added every 2 years. Some rules defined by astronomy were adopted, such as each month encompassing the 4 phases of the moon. Furthermore, the seasons of the year began to have set start dates, the 8th day before the beginning of April, July, October, and December. So, focusing on a structure that would include a leap year every 4 years, he spread a small dose of temporal confusion that would endure for centuries. Februarius, or February, derived from the Latin word februum meaning purification, was the month when cleansing rituals were performed to prepare for spring. It ended up with fewer days, a practical choice considering that at that time, months with an even number of days were considered unlucky. But the calendar was not followed correctly. Over time, the difference between the movement of the Earth and the calendar count only increased. By the time of Julius Caesar, the difference had reached 80 days. Determined to adopt the new calendar, Julius Caesar still needed to overcome the 80-day lag. To do this, he decided that the year 46 BC would have 445 days, getting the time count on track for the following year. Therefore, the last 2 months of that year, Januarius and Februarius, became the first 2 of the next year. Because it was a year with so many days, it became known as the Year of Confusion. The new calendar became known as the Julian calendar, in honor of Julius Caesar. After his death, a month was named after him, the month of July. Later, to honor Emperor Caesar Augustus, the month of Sextilis was renamed Augustus, August, but this month only had 30 days, and to equalize both tributes, it was decided to add a day to August. To make this possible, the solution was to remove a day from the month of February, which already had 1 less day due to the leap year repetition. Thus, February ended up with 28 days in common years and 29, with the 24th repeated, in leap years. But why didn't Julius Caesar's alterations solve everything? The Earth dances around the Sun in approximately 365.2425 days. This means that one complete cycle is a little less than 365 days and a quarter. Caesar added a day every 4 years, but it didn't account for the fact that the 0.0075 day that was left over each year would eventually add hours, days, and even weeks to our calendars if not corrected. And yes, it happened. By the 16th century, the Julian calendar had deviated to the point where Christian celebrations such as Easter were no longer aligned with the seasons, raising both practical and spiritual concerns. Pope Gregory XIII decided to intervene. In 1582, he introduced a radical solution, the Gregorian calendar, which included the removal of 10 days from the month of October of that year and established the new rules for calculating leap years that we use to this day. The reorganization of the dates changed the additional day of leap years from the 24th to the 29th of February. Moreover, advised by the astronomer Christopher Clavius, the Pope determined that the day after October 4, 1582, would be October 15th, a suppression of days that became known as the days that never happened or lost days, decreasing the 11-day difference that had been generated since the Julian period so the calendar could be adjusted. This transition did not occur without resistance. The abrupt change caused discontent, especially in regions where people felt they were disadvantaged by the loss of working days. However, over time, the Gregorian calendar was adopted by much of the Western world, becoming the dominant standard. But how do these changes affect our hero, the month of February? In the Gregorian calendar, the adjusted rules for leap years were clear: any year divisible by 100 would not be a leap year, unless it was also divisible by 400. This intricate rule means that only certain centuries would gain an extra day. But by adapting our calendars to align with Earth's seasons and astronomical patterns, February became the month that supports the adjustment, taking a quadruple leap of temporal acrobatics every time a leap year lands. Therefore, while most months enjoy 30 or 31 days, February embraces its uniqueness as a tribute to celestial precision and human effort to synchronize with the universe. In scientific terms, the existence of a leap year is directly related to the rotation of the Earth around the Sun. As mentioned earlier, our planet takes approximately 365.2425 days to complete one full orbit around the Sun. This difference of approximately a quarter of a day compared to the complete solar year inspired the creation of leap years. By bringing the Earth and the Sun into the spotlight, we can contemplate the celestial movement that drives the adjustments in our calendar. The rotation of the Earth is not as precise as we would like it to be. It slightly oscillates over time due to various factors, such as tidal friction, gravitational influences from the Moon, and even the gravitational attraction of other planets. These variations affect the length of solar days. In fact, the time it takes for one day to complete is relatively variable, as the rotation of the Earth can imperceptibly accelerate or decelerate. For example, in every century, the duration of a solar day can vary by about 1.7 milliseconds. It may seem insignificant, but these small changes accumulate over time. Therefore, to keep our calendar in sync with the nature of our planet and ensure that the seasons occur at the correct time, we need a mechanism that makes periodic adjustments. This is where the leap year comes in. By adding an extra day every 4 years, we compensate for the accumulated delay and synchronize our calendar with the solar cycles. In the Gregorian calendar adopted by most countries in the world, February is chosen to incorporate this extra day. Normally, February has 28 days, but in leap years, it gains an extra day and becomes 29 days. This additional day ensures that the count of years remains aligned with celestial movements. However, not every year divisible by 4 is a leap year. The rule of secular years, mentioned earlier, establishes that unless a year is divisible by 100, it will be a leap year as long as it is divisible by 400. This more complex rule helps to correct small inaccuracies in the calculation of leap years, ensuring the accuracy of our calendar over time. The calculation is as follows. The year is divisible by 4 when its tens can be divided by 4. 2020 is equal to 20 divided by 4 is equal to 5, that is, 2020 is a leap year. With this, the next leap years divisible by 4 will be 2024, 2028, 2032, 2036, 2040, 2044, 2048, 2052. And what about years ending in 00? 400 divided by 400 is equal to 1, so 400 was a leap year. 500 divided by 400 is equal to 1.25, so 500 was not a leap year. According to this rule, the next year ending in 00 that will be a leap year is 2400. The importance of these adjustments goes beyond mere scientific curiosity. Temporal precision is crucial in fields such as navigation, agriculture, and even in our daily life, influencing aspects such as the seasons and agricultural activities. Therefore, understanding the relationship between the Earth's rotation and the calendar is essential for the organization of society. In summary, the existence of a leap year in the 28 or 29 days of February are the result of a long historical journey, from Julius Caesar to Pope Gregory XIII, combined with the scientific understanding of the Earth's rotation around the Sun. February, with its special role in the calendar, represents the balance between celestial movements and the human need to measure and organize time. Tell me in the comments if you already knew this story. Don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell so you don't miss the next videos. Thank you so much. See you next time.